Major Reinhard Seiler was German-Spanish Civil War and World War II Luftwaffe ace, commander of Jagdgeschwader 104 and a winner of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves. The Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross and its higher-grade oak leaves was awarded to recognize extreme battlefield bravery as successful military leadership for the fighter pilots. It was a quantifiable measure of skill and combat success. Reinhard Seiler was credited with exactly 100 victories during World War II over the course of about 500 combat missions. He recorded an additional 9 victories during the Spanish Civil War. Childhood and early career. Seiler was born on the 30th of August 1909 in Rawicz, in the province of Posen, at the time a Prussian province in the German Empire and now in Poland. He joined the fledgling Luftwaffe in 1935. After completing his pilot training, he was sent to Spain with the Condor Legion, and served from 1938–1939 with 2 JGR-88. During that time he established himself as one of the top aces in the Condor Legion, returning to Germany with 9 victories, and in June 1939 he was awarded the Spanish Cross in Gold with Diamonds. World War II. After his return, on May 1939, he was appointed the Staffel-Captain of the newly established 1 Jagdgeschwader 70 based near Nuremberg, being declared operational in July 1939. As war opened in September 1939, it was kept back on home defense duties. Soon after, on the 15th of September, the Gruppe was redesignated I. Jagdgeschwader 54, with Seiler's unit now renamed 1 JG-54, and transferred to the Western Front to cover the southernmost region of the French border. He scored his first victory of the war on the 10th of January 1940, shooting down a French reconnaissance pitez southwest of Freiburg. He scored the second victory on the 7th of April west of Strasbourg. However, he scored no further in the subsequent Battle of France, when his unit covered the panzer advance through the Ardennes forests and later over the Dunkirk bridgehead, pulled out early, back to occupied Netherlands as the campaign wound down. JG-54 was then one of the first units to reoccupy the Pas de Calais in early August 1940 in anticipation of the upcoming Battle of Britain. On a bomber escort in mission over Dover on the 5th of August 1940, Oberleutnant Seiler scored his third victory, but was bounced by a Hurricane squadron, shot down and severely injured. Taking to his parachute over the English Channel, he was rescued and hospitalized, but was out of action for over 6 months. War against the Soviet Union. Promoted to Hauptmann in December, he returned to his command of 1 JG-54 in the spring of 1941. As the Luftwaffe prepared for the upcoming invasion of Russia, Operation Barbarossa, JG-54 was tasked with providing the fighter cover for Army Group North and its advance toward Leningrad. On the opening day of the campaign, he shot down 3 aircraft, thereby doubling his score, and as his unit leapfrogged to new air bases across the Baltic states over the next few weeks, his score continued to rise. By the end of September, he had 33 victories and his unit had finally settled down, establishing itself at Siverskaya, south of Leningrad. He had been awarded the Ehrenbuckle on the 20th of August, recognizing his leadership and combat success. With the loss of Arnold Lignitz on the 30th of September, Hauptmann Seiler was assigned to command 3 Gruppe as Barbarossa entered its critical phase. Despite surrounding the city, it could not be taken, so Hitler decided instead to besiege it. For the next 3 years, JG-54 would stay, essentially, encamped outside the city, interdicting the supply lines and intercepting the frantic attempts of the Russians to lift the siege in offensive after offensive. Seiler himself remained as Group commander of 3 JG-54 for nearly 1.5 years. He was awarded the German Cross in Gold on 15 October, then the Knight's Cross on 20 December 1941, having flown 200 missions. In spring 1942, Geschwader Commodore Hannes Troutloft had the idea for fighter interceptions of Soviet night harassment raids on moonlit nights. A great success, they claimed, 56 victories for no losses. Seiler was the most successful pilot in these missions, scoring 16 night victories between March and June 1942, and he was also promoted to major in June. Throughout 1942, JG-54 continued to cover the north, the Leningrad siege and Demyansk fronts. In December, though, Seiler took his 3 JG-54 to Smolensk in the center, and then soon after in early 1943 rotated back to the west as part of Adolf Gallen's misguided plan to swap units between the western and eastern fronts in exchange for one Jagdgeschwader 26. Defensive. The Reich re-equipping instead onto Bf-109G4s. They spent 6 weeks on the Channel front, unused to operating at higher altitudes and in large formations. JG-26 Geschwader Commodore Joseph Priller refused to declare the unit ready for operations. Finally, in March, they were transferred back to Oldenburg in northern Germany for further training and to stay on defense of the Reich duties. Fittingly, perhaps, with the unit's first successes on 17 April, Unit Commander Seiler scored his one and only VMO kill. However, he was already under orders to return to the Leningrad front, as on 15 April he had been made the new Gruppen commander of I JG-54, flying the Focke-Wulf FW-190. He was replacing the phenomenally successful Hans Philipp, who had just become the second pilot to reach 200 victories, and who was himself being rotated back to Germany for Reich Defense Command duties. Back on the Eastern Front, unseasonably bad weather limited operations for the next few months, and then all attention was turned to the main 1943 offensive operation, Citadel, against the Kursk salient. Seiler's I JG-54 was transferred in June to Ural to join the fighter cover over the northern attack. On the opening day of the offensive, the 5th of July, he scored 5 victories to take his tally to 97. The following day he scored a further 2 kills. Eager to reach the magic century, he chased and shot down an Airacobra of 30th Guards Fighter Aviation Regiment. However, immediately afterward he was himself shot and forced to bail out, badly wounded, over enemy territory east of Ponyri, midway between Ural and Kursk. He was the 44th Luftwaffe pilot to achieve the century mark. Although rescued by German troops and sent back to the Reich for successful hospital treatment, he was declared unfit for further combat duties. In recognition of his long service and command in JG-54, he was awarded the Leaves.The Knight's Cross on 2 March 1944. Later in the year, on 8 August, he was appointed Geschwader Commodore of the Fighter Pilot Training Unit Jagdgeschwader 104 and served in this position until it was disbanded on 28 April 1945, just days before the end of World War II. Released in 1946, Reinhard Seiler died on 6 October 1989, at the age of 80, in the town of Grafenberg near Kulmbach, in Bavaria. Over approximately 500 missions, he was credited with 109 air victories, including 9 in Spain and just 4 in the West. The remaining 96 victories were scored over the Russian front. Awards: Spanish Cross in gold with swords and diamonds. Iron Cross second class first class. Ehrenbuckle der Luftwaffe. German Cross in gold on 15 October 1941 as Hauptmann in the 1. Jagdgeschwader 54. Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with Oak Leaves. Knight's Cross on 20 December 1941 as Hauptmann and Grappenk Commander of the 3. 419th Oak Leaves on 2 March 1944 as Major and Grappenk Commander of the I. Jagdgeschwader 54. Mentioned in the Wehrmacht Bericht.